Tonight, Canada and the U.S. are exchanging terms of a possible deal, and CBC News is breaking what's in it. From tariff relief on steel and aluminum to Arctic security to that Golden Dome, what's on a private document passed back and forth between Ottawa and Washington?
I'm here with CBC now, okay? You okay with going on speaker with me?
Exclusive access to an anonymous hotline for Canadians using drugs alone.
How's it hitting?
How it's saving lives.
People are calling and they're not dying.
And the callers aren't who you might think they are. Remembering Brian Wilson, the legendary co-founder of the Beach Boys.
Brian reinvented pop music, which is a pretty huge thing.
From cheerful California pop to rock visionary, his incredible musical legacy.
Everybody's got surfing USA.
From CBC News, this is The National with Chief Correspondent Adrian Arsenault.
Thanks for joining us. Tonight, CBC News has learned the first details of a possible new trade deal between Canada and the U.S. Months after Donald Trump disrupted relations with an ever-shifting barrage of tariffs and threats, Ottawa and Washington are sketching out the terms of an agreement. On the table, Canadian participation in a so far theoretical missile shield and a greater commitment to Arctic security in exchange for tariff relief. But this is still very early in the process with a mercurial negotiating partner. Katie Simpson broke this story and tells us what else is in that document.
Are you close to a trade deal?
Ultimately, it will be these two leaders who make the final decisions on a cooperation agreement that CBC News has learned is inching closer to the finish line. Terms of a possible deal are outlined in a document that is being shared back and forth between Ottawa and Washington, according to three sources with direct knowledge of the situation.
On a fait du progrès.
We've made progress, but it's not over yet, the Prime Minister said during an interview with Radio-Canada. Mark Carney would not confirm the contents of the document, but one source says Canada will commit to participating in the Golden Dome missile defense system.
To protect our homeland from the threat of foreign missile attack.
President Donald Trump's controversial plan could cost hundreds of billions of dollars in total and take years to develop.
Il y a des aspects.
There are some aspects, maybe anti-missile defense operations, for example, where cooperation could make sense, Carney said. A pledge puzzling critics from the NDP.
Explaining to Canadians why he's pursuing deeper military and economic integration with the United States when he promised Canadians that he would do exactly the opposite.
The document also highlights Canada's plan to reach its NATO defense spending goals, increasing Arctic security and border security improvements. Canada is seeking tariff relief in exchange, particularly in the steel and aluminum industries, after Trump hiked tariffs to 50%, a significant sticking point in those talks.
On va prendre le temps nécessaire.
We'll take the necessary time, Carney says. You have to have an agreement that is in Canada's interest. Adding Canada can wait. We are getting stronger. The U.S. is becoming weaker. But a deal with Canada does not appear to be top of mind for Trump. He failed to mention Canada specifically when asked about the deals he expects to cut next.
We're dealing with Japan, we're dealing with South Korea, we're dealing with a lot of them. We're dealing with about 15 countries, but as you know, we have about 150 plus, and you can't do that.
Sources have stressed to me they do not believe a deal is imminent. There had been some expectation a broad agreement could be reached by the G7 in Alberta next week. I am told that is not the case. The Trump administration has, of course, been distracted by trade talks with China and the ongoing protests in Los Angeles.
And Katie, so what are the realistic expectations on Canada-U.S. trade coming out of the G7?
Well, progress is going to come down to the conversations between leaders. That is how Donald Trump rolls. It adds another layer of uncertainty to these negotiations. Sources who've dealt with him in the past say part of it is all about getting Trump in a good mood.
All right, Katie Simpson in Washington. Now, Donald Trump says a deal with China is done. The White House suggesting its trade team made a breakthrough with Beijing.
The president is talking to them about the details of it now, but what the president heard, he liked.
Trump said China will lift export restrictions on rare earth minerals and specialized magnets. U.S. tariffs on goods from China will be set at 55%. China's tariffs on U.S. goods down to 10%. That is roughly where the two sides were after April the 2nd. That's when Trump announced drastically higher tariffs on goods from most countries, including China. Neither side provided details of a finalized deal. Well, downtown Los Angeles is spending a second night under curfew. The military mobilized on orders from the White House. Protests quieter tonight, but Paul Hunter shows us with federal immigration raids snatching people, there is still fury and fear.
Sitting outside a Home Depot in Orange County, California, south of Los Angeles, the same Home Depot raided by U.S. immigration officers 2 days earlier, Mexico-born Edwin Rios Perez, now in fear of arrest at any time.
I'm undocumented, so my parents came in 2008 when I was about, I believe, 7 or 8 years old.
Like millions of other undocumented immigrants who've lived and worked in the U.S. most of their lives, he's now the target of federal authorities on orders from U.S. President Donald Trump.
It's nonsense. It's ridiculous. We haven't done nothing wrong. What have we done? Standing at Home Depot looking for work to feed our family? Is that a crime? Is that our crime? To feed our family? It's not. We're just trying to provide.
For days now, demonstrators throughout this part of California have protested the federal immigration raids and Trump's orders to deploy the U.S. National Guard and the Marines because of those crowds. A new curfew in downtown Los Angeles brought roughly 200 arrests, but there was little or no violence. Now the demonstrations are spreading. This is New York, with others erupting elsewhere.
What we have seen in Los Angeles is really not about immigration. This is not about policy. This is about power. We have a tyrant in the White House.
All of that as U.S. Marines now prepare to move in here, training at a military base south of L.A. with orders simply to protect federal buildings, but to detain demonstrators if they see a need to. Says the mayor of Los Angeles on all of it.
We started off by hearing the administration wanted to go after violent felons, gang members, drug dealers. But when you raid Home Depots and workplaces, when you tear parents and children apart, and when you run armored caravans through our streets, you're not trying to keep anyone safe. You're trying to cause fear and panic.
And tonight, Adrian, we are again in front of the federal buildings in downtown Los Angeles, where it's clear the demonstrations continue peacefully.
And yet, Paul, the spark of all this, the immigration raids, they also continue.
Yeah, we went looking for some today in Orange County, just south of here. Adrian, didn't find any, but we did run into Edwin Rios Perez, the fellow who we began our piece with, who at one point I said to him, "Why are you talking to us full face with your name and everything? You're undocumented." And he said because he feels he has to, for himself, for his family, for the other undocumented immigrants in this country. Now is the time to speak out, because none of this, he says, is right. And that, by the way, is why these demonstrators are out here again tonight, Adrian.
All right, Paul Hunter in L.A. Thank you, Paul. In Texas, the governor deployed the state's National Guard in response to a planned immigration protest.
We want to make sure that what has happened in California does not happen in Texas. Texas is a law and order state, and we will use every tool that we can to ensure order across our state.
So this was the scene Sunday in San Antonio. Protests are expected to continue. The mayor of that city said he didn't request the National Guard, nor did he receive advanced warning. Well, here at home, wildfires are still keeping much of this country on edge. Thousands remain out of their homes. As Yasmin Renea shows us, some can return home soon, but for others, there is no end in sight.
This is our suitcase. This is all we have.
This hotel room, now Teresa Bignell's home, after a fire near Flin Flon, Manitoba, pushed her and thousands of people out of their community 2 weeks ago.
If I had wings, I'd fly home right now. Honest to God, it's like, I just want to get home. I want to get back to normalcy, because there is no normalcy.
A return date has not been confirmed, as Manitoba remains under a state of emergency. Next door in Saskatchewan, a phased return is set to begin Thursday for the thousands who fled the northern town of L'Orange earlier this month.
Pretty sad to see some homes go to fire, but we're happy to go home. Can't wait to get back.
Welcome news for many evacuees who say it's been a struggle just to get their basic needs met. The province's ombudsman is now investigating the execution of provincial services.
I have a complaint in my office about people sleeping in their cars, people who are hungry, people who are getting sick.
Now, Saskatchewan's premier says all adult evacuees will get $500.
These funds are going to help support families not only through their evacuated time, but going to help support them as they encounter the costs of returning to their home community.
More than 200 wildfires are currently burning across Canada as experts predict a warm and dry summer.
It doesn't make for a good forecast in areas where there's fires currently ongoing.
In British Columbia, an hour north of Vancouver, a wildfire burns along homes and a major highway.
When I see this, I just pray to God, and I'm not a religious person, but just hope that these helicopters and everything can get this out this afternoon.
Officials say they're facing a multi-week battle in hard-to-reach areas, as crews across the country could be staring down a long, hot summer. Yasmin Ranea, CBC News, Vancouver.
Some Liberal MPs are now among the critics of Mark Carney's guest list for the upcoming G7 summit set to begin on Sunday in Kananaskis, Alberta. Olivia Stefanovich now on the diplomatic balancing act for the government.
Hi, sir. Why are we inviting Modi and MBS to the G7?
As the Prime Minister prepares to showcase Canada on the international stage, Mark Carney's G7 guest list is generating criticism, even within his own caucus.
It is a damaging thing because we Canadians are known in the world as caring and compassionate and people who love human rights.
Carney met privately this morning with about a dozen Liberal MPs, concerned about invitations sent to Saudi Arabia's Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman and India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi, both accused of human rights violations. This will be Modi's first trip here, since his government was accused of murdering Hardeep Singh Nijjar and targeting other Indian dissidents within Canada.
It's not a good idea, but now he's invited. We have to move forward.
Liberal MPs say Carney will urge Modi to stop his government's interference, while also sending a message to U.S. President Donald Trump.
We need to make sure that as we are looking at ways to diversify our economy, lessen our reliance on the United States.
But critics say the move comes with too high a cost.
This government has consistently and very clearly chosen profits and the economy over human rights.
But this global affairs expert says Carney is counting on a diplomatic payoff.
This is a pragmatic reflection of the fact that Mark Carney wants to talk about issues that require big countries to be there.
The Prime Minister's office says bin Salman has declined Carney's invitation, but a dozen other guests who aren't part of the G7, like Mexico and Ukraine, have confirmed. The PMO also confirming Russia and China were never invited. Olivia Stefanovich, CBC News, Ottawa.
Nova Scotia RCMP now say they have administered polygraph tests as they investigate the disappearance of 2 children.
We're making sure nothing's missed. We're committed to doing what is necessary to locate Lily and Jack, which may take longer than we all hope.
Siblings Lily and Jack Sullivan were reported missing from their rural Pictou County home just over 5 weeks ago. Police say no new search areas have been identified. They have formally interviewed 54 people, but didn't say who received a polygraph. Well, disgraced movie mogul Harvey Weinstein, facing a retrial on 3 charges of sexual assault, was found guilty today in one of those cases.
He can go away for decades for what he has been convicted of today.
The jury found him not guilty on a 2nd charge and is still deliberating on the 3rd. In a previous trial, Weinstein was convicted on all 3 counts, but a judge threw out those results based on a technicality. Weinstein still faces 2 separate charges in New York and California. Well, Toronto's Pride Festival is facing a major funding gap, and organizers are partially blaming Donald Trump. They link his anti-DEI agenda directly to corporate sponsors dropping out. Jamie Strash explains.
Toronto's Pride Parade, a highlight of the city's busy summer festival calendar, could look a lot different next year.
We are currently in a shortfall of close
to $900,000.
Major corporations like Nissan and Home Depot are pulling their financial support. Organizers are casting blame south of the border.
There is a direct connection between the policies that we're seeing coming out of the White House and the organizations that are pulling out.
But even before Trump, money has long been an issue for Pride Toronto. A similar deficit existed last year, and the organization has also been plagued by mismanagement and rising costs. The City of Toronto has pitched in with $350,000 for this year, but organizers say they need more, or they may have to scale back in 2026.
It's a shame to see that people are pulling out. My perception is that it's got to do with the political situation in the U.S.
Along Church Street, the main artery of the community, reaction is mixed.
It became really commercial over the years, and all you saw were like these big companies, floats and stuff, which meant nothing to me.
It's not just the Pride Festival here in Toronto that's dealing with an exodus of sponsors. It's Pride festivals all across North America. Pride events in Halifax, New York, Washington, and San Francisco have recently lost support.
It's part of an international trend.
In fact, all different kinds of festivals across Canada have struggled recently as sponsors reevaluate how they spend their money amidst economic uncertainty.
It's quite a phenomenon in Canada as well, and that there are a lot of festivals that decide whether to pause, to cancel their 2025 edition, or to just stop their activities.
For Pride Toronto, the message to sponsors who have left: good riddance. But organizers are hopeful others will step in to fill the gap. Jamie Strachan, CBC News, Toronto.
Communities across Northern Ireland are dealing with a third straight night of anti-immigration violence. At the peak of the unrest, rioters smashed cars, burned homes, and attacked police officers. As Chris Brown reports, it was all sparked by an alleged sexual assault.
This was what 2 nights of hate-driven violence did to Ballymena, north of Belfast. And the ugly scenes continued Wednesday. At the peak of Tuesday's events, hoodlums threw Molotov cocktails, bricks, and anything else they could find, burning homes and leaving more than 30 police injured. The home of a Bulgarian family was among those ransacked, and now they're planning to flee.
I have to save my children. 10 years we live in here and work and pay rent normally. Going to school normally, we never make problem.
The trigger for the rampage was a vigil for the victim of an alleged sexual assault. The 2 young male suspects arrested for the crime spoke Romanian, spurring some in the crowd to take revenge on any immigrant.
This violence was clearly racially motivated and targeted at our minority ethnic community and the police.
It is absolutely vital that the PSNI are given the time they need to investigate the incidents concerned, rather than face mindless attacks.
This violence has worrying overtones of the race riots in Southport, England, in the summer of 2024, which followed the stabbing deaths of 3 girls at a dance class. Anti-immigrant sentiment in the UK has been surging, and police say they're worried the violence in Ballymena could spread, prompting some families to put British flags on their home to show the nationality of those inside.
Ballymena has a large migrant population. A lot of people are actually at work in the town. We need those people to be not feared, not scared of living in this town.
Northern Ireland already had its own volatile political dynamic that's adding to the anxiety. For decades, the conflict between Protestants and Catholics ripped communities apart, and the fear is this new violence could unsettle what's been a relatively long-standing peace. Chris Brown, CBC News, London.
Brian Wilson, a voice that helped shape the sound of a generation, has died at the age of 82. The undeniable and lasting legacy of the Beach Boys co-founder. Plus, the hockey scene's heating up in South Florida.
The demand and the hunger for the game has grown tremendously.
The payoff from years of NHL excellence. And a rare encounter with the pod of killer whales.
Look if they're huge.
Look at the size of that guy.
We're back in 2. Tech billionaire Elon Musk has taken a step to mend his tattered friendship with Donald Trump. I regret some of my posts about President Trump last week, Musk posted on X today. They went too far. In one example, Musk slammed Trump's big tax cut bill as an abomination. Trump then mused about pulling millions worth of government contracts from Musk's companies. Tesla shares rose in price today after falling last week when that feud began. Well, Beach Boys co-founder Brian Wilson is being remembered tonight as a songwriting legend and a studio pioneer. He helped create the group's chart-topping sound, but as Ali Chiasson shows us, he also faced some profound personal struggles.
His sound is timeless. Brian Wilson, along with younger brothers Dennis and Carl, formed the Beach Boys in 1961, bringing the sound of Southern California to the masses.
If everybody had an ocean.
But the album Pet Sounds from 1966 is lauded as his masterpiece.
God only knows what.
I think God Only Knows is one of a song that sounds very whimsical. I think that's as deep as any religious book that has ever been written.
Countless artists have said they've been inspired by Wilson's ability to blend melody and emotion. Most famously, Paul McCartney.
You just put those notes, those harmonies together, stick a couple of words over the top of it, and you've got me any day.
The dynamic between the Beatles and the Beach Boys competing, I mean, what that drove and sort of the collateral benefit that we got by that little battle is amazing.
Wilson's career spanned 60 years, with highs like defining the sound of the American 60s and lows, battling drug addiction and mental health struggles. Stephen Page, the former Bare Naked Ladies frontman, says the duality in Wilson's music was like a blueprint for his.
Like he could take really light, frothy, happy music and infuse it with darkness.
Very happy and very deep. I can't explain it anymore.
Through the 1970s, Wilson retreated from public life. More recently, his family said he was diagnosed with a dementia-like disorder.
Once in a great while, I'll think that life has been a ripoff for me. But then I think, yeah, but look at those Beach Boys. Look at how they're doing, you know?
He was sensitive of not only himself, but of his words. That was genius.
It's also now his legacy. Brian Wilson died this week, just shy of his 83rd birthday. Ali Chiasson, CBC News, Toronto.
A Canada-wide service is helping drug users ensure they won't overdose while they're alone.
It's scary. It's scary because are they okay? Are they okay?
Exclusive access to the conversations aimed at saving lives. Unemployment for new grads has reached levels not seen in decades.
I've applied for maybe 400 or 500 plus jobs.
Why prospects have dried up. But first, hockey is getting a boost in the Florida sports fan hierarchy.
It's nice to have different sports. Hockey is a different vibe.
The National breaks down the stories shaping our world. Next.
McIntosh to the finish, and it is! She destroys it again!
Summer McIntosh breaking another of her own world records at the Canadian Swimming Trials in Victoria tonight. The 18-year-old set the new record in the 400-meter individual medley race. It has been a remarkable 5 days for McIntosh. She swam 5 events and set 5 Canadian and 3 world records. Game 4 of the Stanley Cup final is less than 24 hours away. The Panthers are up 2-1 in the series over the Edmonton Oilers. And as Julie Wong shows us, the Panthers' success in recent years is giving hockey in South Florida a major boost.
In South Florida, it's fun in the sun all year round. But action on the ice is also heating up.
8, 9, 10, down that way.
The rink is 10-year-old John DePaulo's happy place, one of a growing number of South Floridians now embracing the game.
Yeah, it's really cool, and since I play in a rink, if there's ever like bad weather, I can still come to the games and I get to do what I like.
It's not as unattainable as people think that it probably is in South Florida.
The general manager here, a Canadian, originally from Toronto. The business started with 20 kids playing hockey Now there are more than 500.
Florida is one of those places where you can play hockey in the morning and go to beach in the afternoon. It's a sport where you're not standing outside in 90-degree heat, so parents really love being here. And you know, that in itself is going to continue to help us grow.
The success of the Florida Panthers, now playing in their third straight Stanley Cup final, is no doubt giving the sport a boost. The team's foundation runs Learn to Play programs, which hit a milestone of 1,000 kids this year.
The demand and the hunger for the game has grown tremendously. You see more Panthers gear out here now than you've ever seen before.
And it's showing up in pubs across South Florida, too. Here, the crowds for hockey playoffs have grown massively and are second only to football.
It's nice to have different sports. Obviously, football is popular everywhere in America. Baseball, not so much, but it's been really nice. Like, hockey is a different vibe.
It's a vibe more and more people are now enjoying, meaning Canada's official winter sport could become a bigger part of the fabric here in the Sunshine State. Julia Wong, CBC News, Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
Time now to dig deeper into the stories shaping your world. A harsh reality facing a whole new cohort of graduates.
Have you tried looking for a job?
I have. It's bleak.
Gen Z's struggle with the worst unemployment rate in decades. But first.
How's it hitting? Hitting good?
Yeah. A 24/7 hotline for people using drugs alone, a virtual safe consumption site focused on saving lives.
People are calling and they're not dying. It's really that simple.
The National Overdose Response Service has already fielded more than 20,000 calls, but as Jennifer LaGrassa uncovers, users of the anonymous hotline aren't always who you might think they are.
Good evening, Norris. This is Jody. How can I support you today?
So I wanted to use a little bit of fentanyl in smoking.
This is NORS, or the National Overdose Response Service.
I'm here with CBC now, okay? You okay with going on speaker with me?
Yeah, that's okay.
Okay, awesome. Give me 1 second, okay?
People call this anonymous hotline when they're about to use drugs like fentanyl.
Okay, you go ahead. You get started. Enjoy.
And operators like Jody will listen for signs of an overdose.
Okay.
How's it hitting? Hitting good?
Yeah.
This is her first call tonight. She'll send EMS if she suspects something is wrong.
I feel like it's a little bit stronger, so I thought I'd better call just to be sure.
It's scary. It's scary because are they okay? Are they okay? That is what is hard in the head sometimes. So as you know, I'm gonna sit with you for at least 15 to 20 minutes, make sure that you're good, okay?
CBC News got exclusive access to NORS and some of their calls.
I'm so glad that you called in tonight.
It's not about stopping drug use, but keeping people alive. Here's another caller.
You don't want to tell your family, but you also don't want to be alone.
Yeah, for sure.
Kind of embarrassing.
Most overdose deaths happen when someone uses alone.
Do you have any plans for this evening?
And surprisingly, callers are not who you might think they are.
Maybe some homework, like counseling and stuff for criminology.
Oh, nice, nice.
You've got like athletes, you have bankers, you have people from the military that are calling in. These aren't usually the people we think of that use drugs, right? But they are.
It is a wide variety of people who are in school, in college, getting their masters.
These are not folks experiencing homelessness. These are folks with jobs. And
both Kim Ritchie and Jody are former drug users.
The highest rates of overdose, to be honest with you, in Canada are men ages 16 to 60 that work in trades.
I heard that there was a bad batch going around in my area.
What are you using?
Most of the calls come from Ontario, then Alberta, BC, and Saskatchewan. The hotline is trying to get at that large group of people that wouldn't use a safe injection site and is trying to keep their drug use hidden.
Still doing okay from that choke? Do you think you're going to do another one with me?
No, I don't think I need to do another one. I need to concentrate on my work.
Oh, for sure.
With money from Health Canada, they've answered almost 20,000 calls and responded to over 200 overdoses. 0 deaths.
Norris called me when I was in the middle of working, saying Faith is unresponsive in the basement.
Tamara O'Toole's daughter, Faith, has overdosed at least 3 times on the line.
Overdosing sucks, but the hotline was really useful, you know, because like you can get help. They're like babysitters, you know.
Tamara let Faith live and use at home, but insisted she call Noors.
Before, when she didn't call, I was worried constantly. Every 4 or 5 hours, I know she's going to use, and then I'd be messaging her. Hey, you okay? You okay? You okay? Oh, please message me, let me know you're okay. Like panicking. I mean, of course I don't want my child to use drugs. Nobody does. But if they're going to, and I can't make her stop, what can I do to help keep her as safe as possible?
This one, here we go. So this is actually, I think, the first one. So there's Rebecca and me.
Kim helped start the hotline with her friend Rebecca Morris Miller during the pandemic.
And this is like the first time our work really went like wide, you know?
The two met in Narcotics Anonymous.
God, we were so cute.
When everyone was stuck at home, overdose deaths surged.
It was small. We didn't have payment. We were working other jobs, trying to make this thing just come together and like learning how to build something.
The hotline started in 2020. Rebecca had $1,000 and a cell phone. I'm in Owen Sound to meet her sister, who took it over after Rebecca died from an overdose.
She always said her drug of choice was fentanyl, so if that's your drug of choice, it's a hard road, very, very dangerous road.
Lisa Morris Miller says shame stopped Rebecca from calling the hotline the night she died.
How do you cope with that? Like knowing that she created a service to make sure that people don't use alone, but then for herself to not have used with someone?
I don't know that I do cope with it. Honestly, like I don't know what that looks like. I know that Becky was so innerly unsettled through her lifetime. And the only way I cope is by knowing that, hoping that at this stage of her journey that she's at peace.
In memory of her sister, Lisa has helped Noors grow.
So we've got the emotional dumpster fire. This is probably our most popular shirt.
Even Rebecca's son Errol helps by making swag.
It's one of the things that better helped me move on from the death.
And so Team Noors is on a mission to challenge the idea of who is using drugs.
So I just dropped you off some bags. There's something to lock, so appreciate it.
Especially as drug use becomes more widespread, more unpredictable.
The kid at 16 that is popping perks off the street because he twisted his ankle in soccer a year ago and can't get his oxyscript anymore is not looking to die. They got a bad batch of oxys. Just gonna drop some stuff off here to our good friend Lance, who gets this stuff out into the community.
They aren't so focused on stopping drug use, just making it less harmful.
We just want to make sure that we're giving access to everybody that we can for the service, because we just really don't want people using alone.
There's a lot of people that talk about harm reduction and say that it only continues that cycle of drug use. What do you say to that?
I'm not here to judge anybody on their path. I certainly don't think that it initiates or continues substance use. It's that inner pull that is very, 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 very challenging to step away from.
A lot of overdose prevention programs serve a different demographic.
So this is the George Spady. It's a physical supervised consumption service site that supports people who are using substances alone.
And it's usually men who go to these sites.
It's a very different demographic that we're seeing using the line. Most of them are stably housed. All of them are still highly vulnerable.
Dr. Monty Ghosh says the majority of callers are female or transgender people.
They prefer to go to these lines for a variety of reasons, one of which is stigma, one of which is safety.
And 10% of all calls ask about recovery.
They form that alliance, if you may, which gets them comfortable to seeking help and entering recovery. So it's a key intervention from that lens to help build trust, help build confidence, help build comfort in seeking supports.
I love this one. Little peanut face. They're so cute.
Tamara is terrified she will lose her daughter before she gets into recovery.
Joyful.
Faith isn't living at home anymore, so she doesn't call Noors as often.
Do you want to stop using drugs?
Yeah, I guess that's the goal.
These were the busy, good times.
Tamara hopes that's true.
I'd love her to be at home where she's safer and loved. Of course, I'd love her to go back to school and entering recovery, whatever recovery looks like for her. But what do I know? You know, I'm just the mom.
Good evening, Norris. This is Jody. How can I support you?
Here's another caller. He's just finished work for the day.
What are you using on the line with me?
Crack.
Crack. Did you get it tested?
No.
No, not tested. Okay. All right, just do me a favor. Just start low, go slow, okay?
How do you know NORS is working?
Oh, I love this question because people are calling and they're not dying. It's really that simple.
It hasn't felt any different than normal.
Okay.
I feel pretty safe.
Yeah, awesome.
Each call a chance to try and keep people alive.
I was on the streets for a few years. Like, I'm not like ashamed of my past, but it's just because I bring myself back to how lonely it was. That's why I'm so happy being here at NORS too, because no one has to feel alone while they use, right?
All right, thank you very much for this.
Okay, no problem.
Have a good night.
Bye.
So NORS is expanding beyond the hotline. It's launched a peer support program for people going into and coming out of jail.
So Jennifer, it was hard hearing the people calling in. Those are some very rough conversations. And I was watching you as you were listening. What was that like?
It was very interesting because the calls were serious at times, but then they were also casual and friendly. And some people were pretty open about their concerns that the drugs were contaminated or about how they're trying to use less often. There's also always criticism with services like this that they encourage drug use. But hearing the people calling in, Adrian, it's really clear that they want to use safely and without judgment.
All right, Jennifer LaGrassa in Windsor, Ontario, thank you.
Thanks.
New grads are struggling to land work as youth unemployment skyrockets.
Basically everybody else I know who's graduated is unemployed.
Why the job market has taken a turn. A bleak labor landscape facing hundreds of thousands of graduates hoping to begin their lives in earnest.
I've applied for maybe 400 or 500 plus jobs.
Gen Z saddled with the highest unemployment rate in a quarter century.
We're seeing, I think, a decrease in the opportunities, the entry-level opportunities for young people.
Paula Duhatschek breaks down what is behind the rise in unemployment and what it could mean for a whole generation of Canadians.
These university grads will have to deal with one of the worst job markets in years.
Man, the economy, man, it's hard.
Have you tried looking for a job?
I have. It's bleak.
Basically everybody else I know who's graduated is unemployed.
It's always tough to find that first job out of school, but for Gen Z, it's even harder.
It is disheartening, but at the same time, it is because of the market. It's not really me that may be the issue.
But hold on a sec. Just a few years ago, all anyone could talk about was how hard it was to find workers.
Canada is in the middle of a huge labor shortage.
Some workers in this country are in high demand right now, and they are reaping the benefits.
The greatest economic challenge that we're facing in Ontario is the labor shortage.
So, a huge shift in the labor market. Let's break down what happened and what it could mean for a whole generation of Canadians.
I've applied for maybe 400 or 500 plus jobs.
Divyan Varnakamaran is graduating this month with a degree in electrical engineering. He's already applied for hundreds of jobs, but so far, no luck.
For something that you only need like 0 to 1 years of experience, they're like, oh, we found a couple more people that were more experienced. How does that make sense?
It might not make him feel any better, but he does have plenty of company. The unemployment rate for university, college, and trades grads who are under 25 is just over 11%. If we don't count the pandemic, that's the highest it's been since the late 90s. It's a big change from just a few years ago. Businesses were scrambling to fill jobs and workers were in high demand.
It was really high coming out of the pandemic, which probably was never going to last.
Eventually, he says, those businesses did manage to find staff, or they just got used to doing without them.
And then following that, the interest rate hikes that the Bank of Canada put into meant to slow that inflation down. That probably also slowed overall economic conditions with impacts on hiring appetite.
Then, of course, Donald Trump returned to the White House, and we all know what happened after that.
The president will be implementing tomorrow a 25% tariffs.
And now the trade war is officially on with the retaliation by China.
All of that back and forth over trade and tariffs hasn't exactly been great for the economy.
So when businesses have uncertainty, they sometimes will pause hiring.
Tim Lang is with a national organization that helps youth find jobs.
We deal with thousands of small businesses as well, and if they might hire 2 people, maybe they'll hire 1, and if you multiply that by thousands of businesses, that's like a 50% drop.
Not only are employers more cautious about hiring, there's also lots of competition for jobs that are available. In recent years, the population of young people has been growing even faster than the rest of the population, partly because of the rise in non-permanent residents.
The surge in job seekers coming from abroad at a time when the economic situation has been softening has been sort of like 2 trends that together have created a weaker environment.
It's not just that youth have to compete against each other. In some cases, they might also be competing against workers who already have jobs.
Many individuals who are overqualified for more entry-level roles that are traditionally filled with youth or recent grads. These individuals are taking on secondary jobs to be able to sustain themselves with the inflation that we're seeing, the rising cost of living.
And so that's bumping out people who are, fresh out of school.
Hi, I'm from Ribbon, calling about your AI-powered interview.
To make matters worse, sometimes the competition isn't even human.
Some of the more routine, mundane tasks that used to be filled by a summer student or a co-op student or a summer job opportunity are now being automated or outsourced to AI.
It's hard to know just how much that's actually happening, but it's certainly one challenge previous generations never had to deal with.
So we're seeing, I think, a decrease in the opportunities, the entry-level opportunities for young people to enter kind of their professions of choice.
So for students graduating right now, if they can't find a job in their field right away, is it really a problem?
And the answer to that is it depends.
According to a Statistics Canada study from a couple years ago, it's not unusual if your first job out of university or college isn't the job you train for. Where this does become a problem is if the economy falls into a deep recession. Young people who graduate in those conditions could end up making less money in the long term.
Well, whether this is a temporary blemish or a long-term scar really depends upon the macro climate.
But let's not get ahead of ourselves. For all the bad news, grads still have lots of hope for the future.
And when I do have an opportunity, that's where the optimism comes in, like, oh, this could be a possibility. I just hope to get work by the end of this month, hopefully.
After all, even if it takes a while to find that very first job, in the end, all you need is one.
Keep trying, don't give up, it'll happen eventually.
I think everything is gonna fall into place.
One expert tells CBC News that youth unemployment can be a canary in the coal mine, an early warning indicator that foreshadows broader troubles in the overall labor market. Well, up next, a fisherman is suddenly surrounded by a pod of orcas.
First off, we saw 1, then 2, 3, 4. Next thing you know, there was a dozen or more.
A pretty extraordinary experience in our moment. You are looking at one of many orcas that recently approached Bernie Lamy's fishing boat just off the coast of Cape Smokey in Nova Scotia. So not long after that, that boat was surrounded. The orcas, very large, very curious. Tonight, a killer sighting makes our moment.
Look if they're huge. Look at the size of that guy. We were having a regular day coming up to our traps. We looked down in the water and got a surprise. The pod of orcas approached the boat. Wow, orca whales. First off, we saw 1, then 2, 3, 4. Next thing you know, there was a dozen or more, and it was something to see. After they caught interest with us, they stayed interested for probably about 10 minutes. They weren't wary of us at all. They seemed more interested in us than we were in them in the beginning. This was a unique, one-of-a-kind experience. They're one of the larger whales that we're going to get to see while we're out there. They're one of the few with teeth, and to see that many at one time is pretty surreal. In all the years of fishing and the people that we see here on the shore, the people that talk, not a lot of people can come back and report that they were able to see a pod of orcas. It was something to experience.
Also good for you for not just experiencing it, but capturing it so the rest of us could see it. And from what we understand, it's really unusual to see orcas that close to shore right there off Cape Breton. It's beautiful. From all of us at The National, thank you for being with us. You can watch anywhere, anytime on the free CBC News app and subscribe to The National's YouTube channel. I'm Adrienne Arsenault. Take care.